Over 500 kills, less than 100 days, no scope, and temperatures that froze a man's breath in his throat. The Soviet soldiers never saw him coming. They only learned his name afterward. They called him the White Death. November 1939. Stalin sends 750,000 men across the border into Finland. Thousands of tanks, hundreds of aircraft. Against them stands a nation of barely 4 million people, outnumbered, outgunned, and expected to fall within weeks. But one of those 4 million was a 34-year-old farmer from a tiny village. Quiet, mild-mannered. A man who had spent his whole life hunting in the deep snow. His name was Simo Häyhä, and Stalin's army was walking into his forest. Häyhä carried an ordinary rifle, a Mosin Nagant, but he refused the one thing every other sniper considered essential, a telescopic sight. Why? Because a scope reflects sunlight. It fogs up in the cold, and it forces the shooter to lift his head an inch higher. That inch could mean death, so he stayed low. He dressed head to toe in white. He packed snow in front of his position, so the blast of his rifle wouldn't kick up a telltale cloud. He even held snow in his mouth, so his own breath wouldn't give him away in the freezing air. And then he waited. For hours, motionless, in temperatures that dropped past -40. Soviet patrols moved into the woods and came back with fewer men. Officers trying to rally their troops dropped where they stood. No sound they could trace, no shooter they could see. Entire units refused to advance, convinced a ghost was hunting them. On his best days, he is said to have killed up to 30 men, one shot, one soldier at a time. The Red Army gave him a name born out of pure fear, Belaya Smrt, the White Death. The Soviets tried to erase the entire forest. They sent counter-snipers. They called in artillery on his suspected positions. Nothing worked. The White Death simply vanished into the snow and kept counting. March 1940. Just 11 days before the war would end, a single Soviet soldier finally caught sight of him and fired. The bullet tore through Häyhä's jaw. He fell into a coma that lasted 11 days. He woke up on the day the war ended. Simo Häyhä survived. His face was scarred for the rest of his life, but he returned home and lived quietly until 96. Over 500 confirmed kills, the most of any sniper in recorded history. A record that may never be broken. If this story gave you chills, subscribe for more. You won't want to miss the next legendary warrior.